Hello, everyone. Coyote or Star Oracle. I'm going to visit with you just briefly tonight under Wisdom Tea and Oracle Insights. My tea tonight is something I was working on prior. It's in a cup that's joy. See if I can get this for you. Let's see, joy. Try this. Well, it's backwards, right? But it says joy. It was just a dark tea. I did use a British breakfast tea with some organic cream, as well as a dash of cinnamon. And you may have heard on some other shows or may have mentioned on Facebook. Cinnamon is a spice that is actually, men can find cinnamon an aphrodisiac, the scent of it. But also, cinnamon is an herb that invites wealth. And so a lot of witches or Wiccans may even make seasonal wreaths and such in different jars of protection and inviting, manifesting in with cinnamon. And anyway, I like the taste of it. So that's why I used it, as well as the idea that, oh, it's really good for manifestation. I'm just trying to find this. Yeah, that's probably all right for now. Okay, so I went on TikTok briefly and I had showed a couple of cards, and the cards had come out because I was inquiring, like doing a little advertisement or a little chat check in to say, okay, how can I best help people? How can I show them that I'm here? Which card would best speak to my wanting to really do what I feel called to do in the world to help people, or one of the aspects, or a piece of that to help people and assist people in their destiny, their highest destiny and their density. And also, it's fun for me and it's helpful to me because it's stuff I love to do. Now, I hadn't come on TikTok in a while, really hadn't come on TikTok for several days in a very more esoteric way. I mean, I was visiting a little bit, but I had been under the weather for 7 to 10 days, and I could feel my energy back enough to want to speak to you about cards, to take a look at subjects, to send out, healing energy, what I call radiations as well. You may find that the Lord Saint Germain Summit Lighthouse Group often mention the radiation of Lord Saint Germain, or they may talk about the violet flame and the violet tower as when energy goes out for wellness. They sometimes call that a radiation. I know sometimes we can associate, I could too, radiation with, chemotherapy or something that's really not good for us. But in this case, I absolutely do mean it's for your upliftment, gladness, goodness, cheer, and to prepave and pave a way for you into your next steps and your empowerment in all ways, in every way. So I basically was again saying to the cards, what will be appealing in terms of being of service, what can come out to speak to these people, and to the people that would listen on Facebook that might see my ad of saying hello. So it's kind of a cute ad. If you do get TikTok, I hope you'll see it and enjoy it. It's only about 2 minutes or so, and it really is about these cards and what came up tonight. So, and I wanted to get one more book in case I needed to read something about my numbers. 1 second. I also may look up on my phone a couple of things because even though my phone is dying, I have a few minutes that I can get to express some things in support to you. So the two cards that came up, and the first one that came up was regeneration, death, and rebirth. I'm going to try to show you the card as clearly as I can, which is a number 5, and I love number 5 because number 5 is about earth, air, fire, water, spirit. It's about the journey within, the journey without. Basha the channeler, who channels Daryl Adka, the channeler, who channels Basha, the space historian, talks about how humans do assess and really learn when there are 5 things to learn briefly, not in a huge way, not like volumes, but we take on this number five symbolic expressions or symbolic topics in small doses where we learn that way very, very easily. And that can probably be more explored through Basha, the Chandler with Daryl Anka on YouTube. Stop. I have a cat here who wants to play with me and my cards, and she loves attention. She doesn't want me to talk to you. Okay, there's a lot of blue here, the throat expression, the upper chakras, the mastery. This is what this is about. This is about expressing your mastery. And I'm going to read right from the book so that we cut to the chase and I don't go too far off on a tangent. Okay, so this was the number 25, just to make sure. Number 23. I want to address this. So basically, it's the great goddess. One life cycle ends and another begins. We're in the age of Aquarius, a huge age of harmony. Flow with the cosmic rhythms to become master of your fate. So you see, we're really entering the time more than any other time, more than the last 3 years, more than the last 5 years, more than the last 10 or 12 years, even though since the 80s for sure, and well beyond that, folks were channeling. They were harnessing energy from the divine and giving you answers and solutions, and people being psychic and teaching, even like the Jesus person was teaching about greater things than I can you do. I'm just here as an example. Follow me, because follow me and be that which I seem to be, because you have this, you got this, you are this. Now, as far as now, we're going to have more table talk, more regular conversation, and just a beingness. Think about like an episode on Star Trek, where on Vulcans they teach logic, but how they learn from an early age to implement logic, to implement all these ideologies and master them at young ages. Well, this awareness of your word is your wand, matter is neither created nor destroyed, the all is one, the one is all, the evil is just a mirror for the brightness of where you want to be. You get to choose. Do you want to stay more light or more dark? What kind of frequency that is? How in your attitude brings your altitude. So where would you like to be thinking, speaking? How do you want to feel? How do you want to vibrate to manifest that what you want? Kat wants to go out just a second. Hey, thanks for that, guys. So this card is about, again, going with the flow. You get to choose. In this new time, this new regeneration, this new rethinking, there is a death of old self, if you wish, and the rebirth of the new self. You get to call upon that which you want to claim. You get to call and reshape. You get to be that person by breathing in and saying yourself, I am capable, I am fantastical, I am this, I am a millionaire, I am a winner. You get to shape that. You get to make your definitions and step into them. And it doesn't matter what anyone else, whatever the dogmatic practice is, you do not have to be aligned with that. You be aligned with the truth that you are, keeping away. I mean, certainly we love to sometimes bounce ideas and what's going on with us, a few or one really good mentor, a teacher, a friend. But even in that, the fine tuning is for you to know deep inside yourself that knowing, that truth that is. And you don't have to keep bouncing off ideas or keep hiring your teacher or keep hiring a psychic, because the psychic, the teacher, the leader wants you to live into exactly what they're doing in terms of you claiming and being your mastery. So this is it, number 5. A lot of blue here, there, currently still higher chakra expression. Blue is associated in some with the Kuan Yin, the Mary energy, the goddess energy, which that image is the goddess energy. What else do I want to say? I was trying to look up what angel is associated with number 5. So let me just see if I can find that really quick. What archangel is associated with a number 5? If it does, give it to me. That's angel number 5, which is not quite the same thing. Who is archangel number in 5 signs of great protector? That's not quite the same. Okay. So, which archangel is associated with number 5? It might be Michael. Let's just see. Sorry about this taking a little bit too long. Number 7. It's not really telling me when I. It's got to be here though, right? Which angel is associated with the number 5? Angel, it's angel number 5. It's not indication. Oh, here we go. This really is about personal self discovery and personal growth. It's not giving me quickly the numbers. I bet you Doreen Virtue, when she was working with archangels, probably has that answer. So I'm sorry, I can't give that to you, and I don't know at this moment. But number 5 is, like I said, about change, the journey within, the journey without. Let's see. Preparation and support. Um, and what else? Positive, significant change, a metamorphosis. And again, the mastery of self is about knowing thyself, going within, and then you're expressing without. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. And then I got a card, number 1. And the number 1 card here is plant the seed of a new template. Again, a lot of blues in the woman's outfit, all around her, the stars, taking a look at the bigger picture, the sky, the infinite awareness. And is this it's kind of like a hallowed temple. So I just want to read a little bit about that. Now, number 1, I started to say earlier, number 1, straight as an arrow, know thyself, to your own self be true. Number 1, consider yourself number 1, not to put others down. It's not like that. Not even going back to, well, I'm better than you, I deserve better than you. And not so much not caring about others' feelings. There's this really a self-centered knowing, a standing bright and solid in the pillar that is the unit, the body that you're in, that you are number 1, and you're taking very good care of yourself, that when you assess and observe situations, you are number 1. When you are number 1, strong, certain, clear, knowing and trust and have faith, then you can open up and help others where it is very appropriate to offer to stand in, to stand up even for them, especially if they are open, willing, and in need, and you truly feel called to do that. There are times one has to let another go. And the quintessential sort of example is that if you are a lifeguard out in the ocean or pool, and you are there to help someone, especially in the ocean, but especially to live, and they are pinching, pulling, shutting you down, scratching, punching at you, grasping, and making it more than difficult for you to help them safely, to help them along and assist them safely to a shore, to a buoy. You are taught to kick that person away who's wanting to bring you under and get on top of you, to kick them away and save yourself because that person is too far gone to reach. And that's a really, really challenging, if not extremely difficult moment to be in because then one, of course, in the bodies we're in the programs that run us, get to a place like, well, I should have done more. I should have risked myself more, maybe risked my life in a different way where they lived and I didn't. And that's not something for you to feel guilty about, but that's how the programming has gone. So it's to take care of you the very best you can, assess, observe a situation, and to move from that and to let go of any guilt or preconceived perception of why you don't take care of yourself. And that goes for me as well. A lot of blues again in this, a lot of blue. I'm going to just look up something really I want to share more with. Spiritual significance of the color blue.
According to Aaron Designs, blue is the color of spirituality, intuition, inspiration, and inner peace. It is also associated with sadness and depression. Inhaling blue is used for cooling and calming, both physically and mentally.
In the aura, blue indicates serenity, contentment, and spiritual development. Now, we have an expression about being blue, but my talk is about really taking a look again in your mastery and placing yourself as number one and knowing thyself. Now, it doesn't mean you shouldn't feel your feelings. If you do feel blue, you address those. You address what's really real. Sometimes the illusion, the sadness, the depression, the perceived situation of something difficult where a solution doesn't seem to be there leads us to worry. I get it. I've been there. And even right now, challenge myself. It's for me to talk that self-talk that, okay, this is how I feel in this moment. I'm going to step back. And I may assess that I've perceived what I've perceived, and it may make me sad, or it may make me feel more correct than even a dialogue that might include this other person in a relationship of working things out. However, it's really okay. And it's not to take away being superior in that particular exchange. And it's not for me to take away that I'm less than in a particular situation, especially one that seems either temporarily bumpy or misunderstood, or just not going to work out the way that you thought it should go. It's okay. Sometimes stepping back from the problem, allowing more room for spaces of other information to come in, whether it's an hour, a day, a week, and perhaps up to 2 months. The point is not choosing procrastination, but choosing an allowance of surrendering to even hear a better solution, not one from here, but one from here, and it truly connects, and that you're led serendipitously or to the solution that feels the most uplifting for you, like that. Okay, so let me see. We want to read number one. Plant the seed of a new template. Do not feel obligated to follow dictates of society. Go against the grain. Everything you need to succeed is within you. And this is what I want to bring to my clients, people who need some relief, direction, support, empowerment, a perhaps enlightened way of thinking, a more open, progressive way to embrace their life, embrace themselves, embrace their accountability and surrender. But you do not have to go by anything that has been written before. In fact, all the systems of the world are falling apart. This, there's so much distraction out there. Some of the distraction is necessary for people to wake up more to see the ludicrous, the lunacy, the hilarity to it. And some subjects are very, very sensitive, but they're brought up so people actually have dialogue and stop saying, I'm doing what the government said. I'm doing what my school says. I'm doing what my doctor says. I'm doing what my lover says. My family says. My children say. I'm doing it for them. No. Be accountable in choice and do it for you because your heart is pure and you are not second guessing and your mind is not saying, well, I love them, so I'll just do it. No. You have to be certain, become more certain, allow yourself more certainty, your faith that you must take care of you, which is more than this. It's your soul, it's your breath, it's so much energy that you're connected to. And everyone has their soul path. And sometimes you will not be in alignment with those you previously resonated with, a lover, a child, a partner, a husband, a wife, you will, or your best friend. And things may fall away. And it sucks at that moment because you thought things were cool and great and in alignment and resonating and everything was getting along. And if anything, that particular situation, that one solid thing, was everything, and it wasn't what you had to worry, be concerned about, or redirect. And then all of a sudden it is. And it's one of those foundational things or part of a foundation of self esteem, foundation perhaps related to money, foundation, anything that seemed to have held you up becomes a complete opposite, is an illusion. And it's there only for you to embrace so that you can regenerate, have a death, and then have a rebirth. because you are the goddess, you are the god. And that you plant the seed of a new template, which is you, and your definitions around all of that, that you, and I need this for me as well. Anything that I read for you guys really becomes part of what reminds me to stay bright and light. Now, the other story I want to bring up, I haven't brought it up in a long time, the story of the bamboo tree. The bamboo tree, you planted seed. You mark off the area where the bamboo tree is. The bamboo tree will not show any signs of life for 5 years. No green, the ground will not move. You must tend to it to protect that area by watching how much sun and protecting it against really bad extreme weather conditions. Water it appropriately and do not keep kicking up the sand around it and where that seed is by thinking 3 months later, where the hell are you? You thought you were growing. The seed is planted and it's there. Now it takes 5 years. But when that bamboo tree in that beginning of that first day of your 5th year, 3 days before, 3 days after, there's going to be signs of life. The tree will start to break ground and show itself. And when it does, it takes about 6 weeks for a bamboo tree to grow 90 feet, its full height. Now imagine that. You patiently waited, you know it's coming, you love it, you don't talk against it, you don't fight against the weather, you don't fight against the ground that seems to show nothing. You just know that radiation, that energy, that nurturing is allowing for that seed to germinate in such a way and gain power and mastery that up it goes. I bet you on the planet there's a lot of plants that whatever time they've taken to grow will now go quicker. They're going quicker because of our intuit attention, the words that assist in the power, the frequency that we're harnessing together between the frequency of the words, the thought and picturing, and the energy that we are, and wanting that to go out and it to be so. So I just wanted to come on and give you a little bit of that tonight, and that I can be reached at sirianstaroracel@gmail.com. I work by donation, and I would just love to assist you in your next steps of whatever it is you have to think into next or feel into next. Perhaps a question you have about should you do this or that. It's not about weighing pros and cons, about feeling the energy of it and through it and where you are. Are you an ego trying to control or, in fear? Or are you assessing and truly wanting to be with that natural flow to bring you abundance and direction that will uplift you in the long run? I myself go through that, right, with the current little job I have and allowing more to come in and some other personal decisions I have to make. So again, when the oracle or the tarot reader is reading for the guest, often there's a very nice balance that the teacher or leader is being reminded, while the recipient is also getting some benefit and support, which is triggering new ways into being, new eyesights for solution, and the calmness that they've had a conversation and sharing vulnerability and in wishes, desires to bring you to your highest destiny, to bring you to your higher density. Good wishes, my little coyote heart loves you, and have a great night or a great day wherever you are. You're powered by the stars.